Guys, I eat the same thing all the time. I'm really stuck in a rut. What should I do? Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Vegan View. So today we're going to be doing a what I eat in a day, what we eat in a day as 3 vegans, and we are actually going to be doing something a little new today. This episode is kindly sponsored by Purple Carrot. Honestly, I'm a huge fan. Most of you guys
You're
who know me.
You're probably one of their biggest fans, literally.
I think I am. I've been subscribed to them for over a year now, and I get pretty much weekly boxes. You can skip a week, so sometimes I skip a week if I'm going to be out of town or whatever, but I'm really excited about this collab.
I love them too. I've used them a couple times as well, and you've never tried it.
Yeah, it's my first time, and I've been dying because these two are pushing Purple Carrot all the time, and it looks so good. Yeah. I'm like, wow, are you a food stylist, Hannah? Because like your food is popping. And she's like, oh, it's Purple Carrot. So that gets to be me this week. For those of you who are not familiar with what Purple Carrot is, it's a 100% vegan meal delivery service. You get the ingredients and recipe cards to make 3 meals a week, and it's super convenient. So thank you so much, Purple Carrot, for sponsoring this video, and we're excited to show you what we all eat in a day.
Hey guys, it's Nicole. So for breakfast on this day, I wanted something that was kind of festive and fall-y, but also really easy. So I made some toaster waffles. These are a vegan, gluten-free pumpkin spice toaster waffle that you can get in the freezer section of your grocery store. We taste tested these over a year ago now on this channel, and they're really good, they're really easy, and they have pretty good ingredients. So every once in a while, this is a nice treat to have. Then I added one of my favorite fruits, which is a persimmon, and went ahead and made some cranberry syrup to go on top. So I just used 2 tablespoons of cranberry sauce with 2 teaspoons of maple syrup, and then I added the juice of half of an orange or a clementine, whatever you have on hand. This really isn't an exact science. You can kind of mix and match the ratio as you like. I tend to like it a little on the less sweet side, but I love the combination of cranberry and orange and maple. It's so festive for this time of year, and it's just a nice departure from your typical maple syrup. You can also do a little sprinkle of cinnamon or nutmeg or pumpkin pie spice. You guys get it. You can kind of customize this and then drizzle that on top of the pumpkin waffles. It's really, really good, and obviously it adds a nice kind of fall color. And then I added some vegan coconut yogurt, and because I love a good theme, I did a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds and just a little bit more cinnamon. One, because it looks pretty, and also because it makes it smell really good, and this is kind of like a little DIY entertaining tip. If you're ever making a plate for someone and you want it to be extra fancy, do a little sprinkle of herbs or of some kind of spice. It makes it really fragrant and therefore way more delicious.
Hey guys, it's Hannah. So for breakfast, I've been obsessed with smoothies lately. It's such a good way to get in all your greens and some different colored fruits in the morning, and they're so quick and easy to make, so that's kind of been my go-to. So I just pack it full with a couple handfuls of spinach, and then I'm adding a banana right now. These bananas are not quite as ripe as I would like them to be, but that's okay. I love the creaminess that having a banana adds. And then I'm gonna be adding some frozen strawberries. So I'm keeping this pretty simple, and it sounds like boring, but it actually tastes really good. It's been one that I kind of make over and over again, depending on if I have these fruits available. And then my favorite thing in the whole world lately is oat milk, and this is by Happy Planet. It is the one that my grocery store carries, and I love the taste of it. It's vanilla flavored, so it's a little bit sweet. And I'm just gonna add that to the smoothie and then blend it all up. And yeah, it is not the prettiest color, I will admit, for a smoothie, but the taste is so good. It's like the perfect amount of sweetness. So that has been something that I really enjoy. I feel like it's a really good way to start my day, and I actually look forward to it, which is weird because I'm not normally a breakfast person, but for some reason I look forward to these smoothies. Hi guys, so for my late breakfast today, I did one of my on-the-go breakfasts. It's just frozen hash browns and whatever frozen veggies I have laying around. My favorite combo is usually frozen kale and hash browns, but I only had this veggie medley, so I tried it, and to be honest, I usually prefer my kale, but nonetheless, I ate it. And I topped that with some garlic powder and some salt, and then I baked that in my toaster oven at 350 for 15 minutes. By the way, if you like your hash browns a little more crispy and less of that like potato-y, I would bake it at
400 for the same amount of time. I love doing this because it's like a savory breakfast that I can just set and go get ready, and by the time I'm ready, it's done. I usually like to eat this with nutritional yeast and vegan kimchi, but I've been loving this Honest Stand nacho cheese. It has really simple ingredients, and all you have to do is like warm it up and drizzle it on top of your food or dip your food in it, and it is so good. It was so good I ended up making a whole batch after this for my family because they tasted mine and they wanted in on this cheesy goodness.
My snack on this day was really, really new and like exciting, brand new on the market. You guys have probably never had it before. It's kind of exclusive and hard to find, really expensive. It's called an apple. Yeah, it was really good. You should try it if you can find it. I mean, they're really hard to come across, but apparently they're healthy, so it was awesome. So for lunch, I went ahead and decided to make a avocado toast, but kind of like a super extra avocado toast so I could get lots of nutrients in, and also it's just a little bit more fun than your basic avocado toast. So I just put some lentil bread in the toaster. I'll put it down below in the description box below. I get it in the freezer section at my local grocery store. And then I put some turmeric on top of the avocado. It is a really nice flavor enhancer, and it's also anti-inflammatory. Put some black pepper on top of that to increase absorption, and then I put a big handful of greens on each side. And then I put some of this sauerkraut that I get from Whole Foods. It has beets in it, which is why it turns that pretty purple color, and it's kind of tangy and sour and salty, so it adds a really nice like texture and crunch and obviously color to the toast. And then honestly, only because I wanted to take a picture, I put some hemp seeds on top. And then I had a little bit of this vegan feta cheese that I'm working on a recipe for. It's actually pretty low fat. It's not perfect yet, but when it is, you'll see a recipe for it over on my channel, Nikki Vegan. But I dolloped some of that on top, just honestly, again, to use it up so it didn't go to waste. And so it looked pretty. Finished it with some pumpkin seeds, and this was very hearty, very filling, and really delicious. There was so much going on, and I loved it.
Hey, it's Hannah. For lunch, I'm doing the easiest, laziest lunch that I know. And this is kind of my go-to when I am having a really busy day and I just need to have something very quick. It is the Trader Joe's penne arrabbiata, and it's in the frozen section. It literally comes together in 7 minutes. I just put it on the stove with a little bit of water and put it on high heat, medium high heat, sorry, not high heat. And then I just add some nutritional yeast to get in some B12, and that's it. It is seriously one of my favorite easy lunches, and yes, I do eat the whole bag by myself.
So for lunch, I decided to try, of course I'm gonna try, the tandoori chickpea lettuce wraps from Purple Carrot. Guys, I make everything from scratch, so honestly, to have someone else get the ingredients, measure them out for me, and give me like a perfect step-by-step guide with photos, oh my gosh, guys, it was like a mental vacation. So I just sauteed some of these butternut squash with the onion and the ginger, and it was so easy. And of course, it had my favorite legume, chickpeas, in it. And something that I found really special about this meal is that if you try to find tandoori paste, you can go running around to 3 different stores before you find it, or you might not even have it in your town, and they just send it to you. Purple Carrot saved me so much time and stress. I loved serving this, and me and my dad actually shared this, and we loved it. Loved the mango chutney and the yogurt that went on top. It was right up our flavor alley.
For dinner on this night, I decided to make the eggplant dish that came in my Purple Carrot box. And this is a really cool technique, especially for those of you who have tried eggplant and you found that it was way too mushy. What we're gonna do here is slice the eggplant and then salt it really generously, like more generously than you think you need to, because you can remove some of the salt later. But what this does is it kind of draws out the moisture from the eggplant. So you wanna lay it on some paper towels and let it rest for a little while. And this is going to almost look like it's sweating, like it gets kind of glistening and glowy on the top. And that's a good thing because that's the water coming out of it. And that's going to ensure that when you roast it later on, it's gonna have a nice consistency and it's not gonna be too mushy. So while those were resting on the paper towel, I went ahead and made some vegan ricotta. And I was really excited when I read this in the recipe because I've never made a vegan ricotta before. So they give you a block of extra firm tofu, and all you have to do is drain the liquid and put it into a food processor. And then you add some lemon juice, a clove of garlic, about half of a teaspoon of dried oregano, and lots of salt and pepper. And then you just blend it up and it turns into this smooth and creamy vegan ricotta cheese, even though you didn't add any dairy. It's amazing. It was very delicious. And I'm already really excited to experiment with, adding some nutritional yeast next time or changing up the herbs a little bit. I really love how when you try something new, it kind of sparks this creativity in you, and especially in the kitchen when you tend to make the same thing over and over. It's fun to try a new recipe and then kind of get your creative juices flowing for the next time, and you can just try so many different combinations. I love that feeling. Then I went ahead and I took the salt off of the eggplant. I roasted it with some olive oil, salt, and pepper, and then when it was done, it was time to assemble. So you just layer the eggplant with the vegan ricotta and some sauteed spinach that I made while the eggplants were in the oven. During that time, I also made a sauce just using some fire roasted tomatoes and some garlic, salt, and pepper. If I were to make this again, I would blend this sauce in the blender before heating it up, and that way you have more of a pureed, almost like a marinara type of texture instead, just because I did find that this sauce was a little bit liquidy and watery, and it made it kind of messy when you were eating it. Not that I minded, because it does come with some nice crusty bread that you toast up before serving, so you can kind of mop up the sauce and some of the vegan cheese. It was really good, and I really loved the flavor of the eggplant with the tomatoes and the fresh basil and the spinach. It was delightful, very garlicky, but very delicious, so I highly recommend this.
Hey guys, it's Hannah. So for my purple carrot meal, I'm going to be doing the jackfruit quesadilla because I love jackfruit. So the ingredients come packaged up like this, and then I'm just going to start out by chopping up the veggies. This is a pepper and some red onion, and most of the recipes come together between 25 and 45 minutes, so they're very quick. Most of them are around 30, so I can always plan for that. And a lot of the time is taken up just by chopping veggies, which is great. I mean, if you're a really fast veggie chopper, you might be able to get the meals done quicker than what it says. And I'm using my nifty avocado slicer right here, which probably saves me all of 2 seconds, but I feel like it saves me a ton of time, so I love it. But yeah, this recipe calls for a avocado salsa, which is so good, and it's so simple. It's just cilantro, avocado slices, some red onion, lime juice, salt, and pepper. Who knew that could taste so good? Probably a lot of people. Anyways, I digress. One of the reasons I really like purple carrot is because my schedule is different every single week. I can't really predict how many meals I'm going to eat out, how many meals I'm going to eat in, and I don't really have a set day where I can go to the grocery store and get stuff for the week. So it really allows me to have the freedom of knowing that I can have 3 home-cooked meals that week without having to worry about getting the ingredients, finding the recipe, planning out what we're going to eat. It just saves so much time and energy, and to be honest, eating out in LA can be so expensive, so I find this is oftentimes cheaper than eating out, and you get restaurant quality food, in my opinion. So I have just toasted the veggies with some oil, and I love that you can kind of customize the recipes to what you need. So if you're somebody who doesn't like to use oil, you can totally use water instead. But I'm just browning up the jackfruit with the veggies, and this is going to be the filling. I like this in particular because it's one that I can very easily recreate at home, and a lot of the recipes are like that. Some of them have odd ingredients, but this one is one that I could definitely get the ingredients for and do it again. So I love always having a recipe on hand because of that. I will usually use this time where I'm making a purple carrot meal to put on a podcast or listen to some piano music. I don't know why I really love piano music when I'm cooking, but it has really kind of become a way for me to wind down and kind of turn off my brain, because you're looking at the recipe and everything's pretty much measured out for you, so you can kind of just unwind, and I've found it to be really therapeutic. And then you're just going to toast up the quesadilla in the pan on both sides for a few minutes, and then you're just going to put the avocado salsa on top, and there you have it, a delicious home-cooked meal that looks like it may have come from a restaurant, but you made it at home.
So for dinner, I was actually back at home when I filmed this in Texas with my family, and we just ordered from some local pizza place and asked for no butter on the crust and no cheese and all the veggies that they had. Then we took our own vegan mozzarella. We found this Miyoko's mozzarella, and the trick of this is if you want to get it really melty, you have to have it cold enough that it's kind of firm but not frozen that it starts crumbling, and then you grate it with a medium to large grate, and you get a really beautiful vegan cheese consistency. And then we popped that back in the oven just to broil it, and it was really good. And this is just a really great hack that we have because my parents live in an area where there's no vegan restaurants at all. So this is a great hack of making your pizza a little more fun by adding your own vegan cheese when you can find it.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope that this gave you some good meal inspiration, and thank you to Purple Carrot for sponsoring this video. We had an amazing time making this video, and let us know down below in the comments what your favorite thing you've eaten all day is, because we want to know.
I want to know.
Yeah, we want to know. Subscribe to this channel if you're not already subscribed, and check out our Facebook group if you haven't already, and we will see you back on Monday. Bye.
Bye.